Welcome to SUP Coach Matt, in collaboration with Goose Hill SUP. We're going to talk about sea safety today and steps you can take to avoid you getting into trouble like these people have. The sea is a very tricky environment and things can change very quickly, and it's very different from inland waters. However, just a few steps, a bit of common sense and a bit of research will ensure that you're going to have a great day. The first thing to check before you leave the house is what the weather and tides are going to be like. To check out the weather, you can use a website such as magicseaweed.com, which will tell you what the forecasted swell or wind is going to be, but also check out weather sites appropriate for wherever you live. In the UK, that would be something like the Met Office. Essentially what you're looking for is a light or no wind day, and you do not want the wind to be blowing offshore. All of those instances of people getting into trouble on SUP boards were due to people being blown out by offshore winds, so don't go out on an offshore wind day. Also, make sure you check ahead to see if the conditions are going to change during your SUP session. The other thing you need to think about are tides. Beaches behave very differently at different states of tide. Different rocks, different bottoms, tides, rips, that sort of thing can all change as the tide goes in and out. The best place to check out this information is either on a notice board at the beach or ask the lifeguard if there's a lifeguard service running. Lots of beaches in the UK will have a sign something similar to this that will tell you if there's currents, if there's rocks, what to be conscious of, whether there's a lifeguard service running. So these are really useful, well worth reading. It's really important that you have some sort of flotation device with you when you're going out. This could literally be a lifesaver, especially if you get separated from your SUP board. There are loads available out there. A quick Google search will bring up lots of results. You just need to find one that works for you. Top tips are to make sure that you're comfortable in it and it's not going to ride up. Something well worth considering is a waterproof case for a mobile phone, so you can take that out with you. That's what saved one of the people in the earlier clips. It's also worth telling somebody where you're going out, how long you're going out for, and what time you're expected back, just in case you don't return and they can raise the alarm. A few final checks before you hit the water. Make sure your leash is securely attached and all the string and ropes are done up properly around the leash attachment. Make sure your paddle's okay and your board is pumped up. The first thing you should practice before you go out on your paddle adventure is make sure you're confident with self-rescue. The idea of self-rescue is you lie down on the board and put the paddle underneath your chest and then paddle the board as if it was a surfboard with it using your hands. This is a really great skill to have, which can get you out of all sorts of trouble. It's really effective because you're lowering your profile to the wind, so if the wind does turn offshore, you're not being blown out because you're sitting on the board and you're able to propel yourself forward. Make sure you practice this in shallow water before you go out. You might find that your SUP board is too wide for you to prone paddle, just like we've shown you in the video, in which case try kneeling down on your board and putting your hands down the paddle a bit further and using that to get you in. Once again, that'll lower your profile. The main thing about SUP is getting out there and having fun as safely as possible. Life's an adventure, so go for it.